That's cool, never knew it can do that. Sport handling mode. Automatic mirror drop on reverse. Hello everybody, it's Wilson here and welcome back to my channel. And for those who are new to my channel, a warm welcome to you as well. So in this Christmas special, I'm going to bring to you the hidden and not so well known features of the Mercedes R172 SLK. Enjoy the video. Number 1. How to enter the service mode in order to carry out a service reset, a brake pad replacement or a dyno test. First of all, you need to hold down the end call and the answer call button, and then within a second you've got to press the OK button all at the same time. So let me demonstrate that. First of all, you need to make sure your ignition is on number 1, first click. And then you need to make sure your cluster is set to the mileage window. So that will be this one here, that one there. And there you go. Service menu entered. In this menu, you have 4 subcategories. So the first one is vehicle data. That shows you information like your voltage, hardware, software numbers, etc. You can scroll through quite a few menus, so it's just for information. I'll go back. So the second option is dyno test, roller test. If you click on that and you click on OK again, that puts it in dyno mode. So essentially what that does is it turns off all your ESPs, all your driving aids, so you can run it on the rolling road. You can also use it on the track as well, so you have no safety aids as well. So once that's on, start the car. And you'll notice you'll get a lot of errors, EBD, ABS, etc. And then basically everything is off. And then to turn it off, you can simply switch the car off. It'll go back to the original menu and then press OK, and then that disables dyno mode. Back to the main menu. So the third option on this menu is pad replacement. So when you're replacing brake pads, you need to put it in pad replacement mode so it retracts the handbrake, the electronic handbrake. Otherwise you won't be able to get the pad out. So simply press OK and then OK again. And if you can hear that in the background, you can hear the handbrake retracting. And then shortly after, you'll get this flashing P and this message to tell you that the fitting position is reached. So then you turn your ignition off and carry out your brake pad replacement, the rear ones. Once that's replaced, make sure the bonnet, all the doors are closed, ignition back on, and then it will ask you, has the fitting position reached? Do you want to exit? So you press OK, and as you can hear, the brake pads are now putting back to normal position. There you go. OK to confirm. And now the fourth option, if you want to reset your service reminder, if you've done your own service, oil change, etc., Assist Plus, go OK. You can look at service data, so all the previous service and remaining days, etc., all there. Or if you want to reset it, you've done your oil change or whatever you need, you've done already on your car, go to full service, enter confirm full service, and it'll ask you what grade oil you've changed it with. So that'll be a yes. Obviously I won't do it, but that's just a demonstration, and then it will reset your oil reminder. Number 2, how to enter sport handling mode or turn off ESP. So to do that, you simply use the ESP button as shown here. Now just be aware, not all models will have these two functions. One might just only switch off ESP, but my AMG, I can put it in sport handling mode. So put it in sport handling mode, you simply press this button once, and then on the dash you shall see sport handling mode. So essentially what sport handling mode is, it gives you a bit of rotation on the track. Not so much that you're spinning off, but enough to have fun basically. Now, to switch off the ESP completely, you have to hold down the ESP button for a few seconds, and I'll show you that. So I'm holding it down, and there you go. ESP off, and then you'll get a warning, amber warning light behind that needle over there. So this will, well, on my model, the AMG 55, it will switch off the ESP completely, but on other models it may still allow some sort of intervention. To normalize everything, simply press this button once and it will switch back on the ESP as shown there. There you go. Number 3, the hold function. So the hold function is useful when you're come to a standstill at the traffic lights or in an uphill section. So simply push the pedal harder like this, and then you shall see the hold is now lit up on the dashboard. And essentially what that does, it holds the brakes for you, so you don't need to keep your foot on the brake all the time. Now when you hit the accelerator, it will release the hold, as you can see there. Number 4, the famous Eco button. Don't we all love this button? Essentially what that does is switches off your stop-start function. It's fine for most SLK owners. Most people will just switch it off and that's it. But if you own a SLK 55, it acts as 2 functions. So if you went and switched it off, it actually turns off the Eco 8 and the Eco 4 function, as well as the stop-start. As we all know, the Eco 4 is very useful when you're cruising. It deactivates 4 cylinders for fuel consumptions. So another alternative, rather than having to keep pressing this button on the SLK 55, is when you come to a stop at the traffic lights, as I'm demonstrating now, before you come to a stop, hit the flappy paddle, put it in first gear, and then that turns off your stop-start. But however, it doesn't turn off your Eco function for the cylinder deactivation, because as soon as you accelerate again, it will turn it back on. So that's a cool little feature, a little trick, just by using your paddle and put it in first gear. Number 5, the automatic near side rear view mirror drop upon reverse. So this feature only is available if you've got the memory package, the seat memory, etc. My SLK 55 comes with it as standard. First of all, you need to calibrate the mirror drop, and when I mean calibrate, set the position when you put it in reverse. So in order to do that, you need to, so for a right hand drive car, you need to press the left side mirror button so it highlights it. So obviously for a left hand drive car, it'll be the opposite side. So once that's highlighted, put it in reverse. Now you can probably see the mirror starts to drop, but you want to set your position. If you want to set the position where it's facing in the future, you now adjust the mirror position using your left, right, up, down button. So I can adjust it to the position that I want. So up, down, whatever position that you want when you put it in reverse. So I want it about there, say, for example. Now once you've calibrated it into that position, that will stay in that position next time you put it in reverse. So now if I put it out of gear, that will return after a few seconds back to normal. There you go. So that's the normal driving position. So now in the future, you need to activate, you need to leave that button, left mirror, highlighted for it to work. So once you leave it on, it will stay on permanently. So in the future, if you were to put it into reverse, it will now move to the position that you set to previously. Number 6, easy access mode on your steering wheel. So it allows your steering wheel to automatically raise and lower as you enter and exit the car. This is only available if you have that option, the electronic steering column adjustment, like I do. So the way to activate it, if you haven't have it working already, is to go into settings on your instrument cluster using your left, right button up and down, and then go to convenience, and then make sure easy entry exit is turned on. So once it's turned on, if you switch off your car and then remove your key, the steering wheel raises, so you have more room to get out without bumping your knee onto the steering wheel, and vice versa when you get in. And then when you put the ignition back on, the steering wheel retracts to the original position. Number 7, auto high beam. Not all SLKs will have this function. It's only if you have the xenon or the intelligent light system. So if you do have those options and it's not working, go to the settings, go into light, and then scroll down. Make sure adaptive main beam is actually activated, like here. So once it's activated, so at night when the auto lights come on, so you have to make sure your switch here is on auto, and then make sure your high beam is pushed forward. You will get a symbol in your dash to telling you it will have an A with the high beam symbol, and that basically means it will automatically activate your high beam according to oncoming traffic using the inbuilt light sensors in here. Now, just be aware as well, even if your car did have the xenons or the intelligent light system, but you don't have the option, it can be coded, because my early version 2012 didn't have it, but it had the ability to have it, so I coded it myself. Number 8, the sun visor. So what's so special about the sun visor apart from blocking the sun? So this feature I found out recently, if you pull it off and then put it to the side, like here as shown, now you can extend it, look, so it covers further out for the window. I didn't know that, so that's cool to know. There you go. Number 9. Now this is related to the climate system. So when you've come to a halt, you switch off your ignition, but you want to remain in the car and you want some heat. And now simply hit this rest button. The light comes on, and now you can hear the fan started spinning. So that will provide you with residual heat from the car for up to 30 minutes, depending on your battery. So that will automatically switch off when it determines it's no longer required. Number 10, how to take it out of park when your car's broken down, or you have a flat battery, for example, and you need your car to be recovered. Let me show you. Right, first of all, you need to release this gear shift surround gaiter, so it basically unclips off. So you can pull it by hand, you can sort of wedge it in and pull it and it unclips, but I'm going to use a tool. Let me just try and get it in there, get it out. Okay, you just lift up and you should be able to unclip. There you go, it just unclips like this, see that? And then what do you do? So once you unclipped it, lift it up, and if you peek down the side, there's somewhere you can push the lever. I believe there's that yellow lever there, so let me demonstrate. So that yellow clip, you can put your finger down there to try and push that lever, or get something pointy like this. Just put it down there, push the yellow lever down like this, and then you should be able to take it out of park into neutral. There you go, and you can let go, and now that's in neutral. So that's useful if you break down or your battery's flat and you need to recover your vehicle, and that's how to put it in neutral. Number 11, how to operate the roof whilst you're outside. All you need is your remote control key pointed at this infrared sensor on your driver's door. Let me demonstrate. So you keep it held open on your key, and now to close it, simply hold the close button and repeat. And the good thing is, you don't need a smart top module to have this function. Number 12. This concerns the DRL, the daytime running lights. So often, if you're parked up in a car park and you switch off your main headlights, sometimes the DRL will remain on. Now, how do you deactivate the DRL when you don't want to attract attention, like say you're parked up? So go back into your car and simply turn this switch to the P position, one of these P positions. It doesn't matter which one, left or right. And once you've done that, if you go back to the front, all your lights will remain off, including your daytime running lights, your DRLs. Now, not all SLK models will have the daytime running lights active when you got the main beam on. Only on the SLK 55 you can have that function. Although I do know you can code it on the other SLKs to have the DRLs on with the main lights. Number 13, the bonnet, or the hood if you're American, service mode. Let me show you. So you open the bonnet or the hood as normal, and then simply push further beyond the stop point. There you go. Just keep pushing until it almost goes vertical. Not quite, but almost. There you go. And what's the benefit of that? So if you need to change the battery in this area, there's a lot more space here to get the battery out rather than trying to scratch up or scuff up your hood or your bonnet. Number 14, how to lower the rear quarter windows whilst the roof is up, and also the driver and passenger window up. So press this button here, the central button on your roof control, down. That will open the rear quarter and your main windows. Now simply re-raise your passenger and driver windows manually with the buttons on your door. And there you go. Rear quarters have stayed down, and that will give you ventilation in the summer. Now to re-raise it, simply go back into your cabin, pull this lever up, hold it, and that will reclose your rear quarter windows. Number 15, how to raise the rear quarter windows when the roof is down. As you can see, on the SLK models, you can't actually do it by factory standards. On the SLCs, you can raise it using the central button here by putting it up. Now, how do you get this to work on the SLK? There's two ways. I've done 2 videos on it, which I'll put in a link in the description below. One way is to get it coded with VDMO, so you program the correct SLC firmware and get it coded. The second method is to retrofit SLC roof module, which is located behind there, and I've done a video on that, like I said. So I'll show you how it's done. Once you've done either methods, you just pull up this central window button, and there you go. The rear quarters will now come up with the main windows. And if you want to relower the rear quarters, you have to push this button down so it lowers everything back down again, but then obviously you need to re-raise the windows, the passenger and the driver's window manually, to have it in that configuration should you wish. So yeah, this is probably the best retrofit that I found for the SLK. And now we come to the last one, number 16, the permanent kilometers an hour display on the bottom left of your dash. Now, how do you change that so it displays the outside temperature instead? Now, just bear in mind, all the UK spec R172 SLKs doesn't have this function by standard. You have to have this coded with VDMO software. I've got a video of how to do this on my channel, which I'll put on the link in the description below. So once you've coded it, essentially what you do is go to settings on using your steering wheel buttons, go to instrument cluster, click OK, and then scroll down to permanent display digital speedo KMH and click OK on the button on your steering wheel. And now you can see the KMH is now changed to outside temperature display permanently. There you go. Now if you go abroad into Europe and you need to change that back, you simply go back into the menu and change it back to kilometers an hour. I hope you all enjoyed this video and thanks for watching. I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. See you all in 2026. Bye for now. Now simply, bloody alarm. It definitely blends in with the overall design It definitely blends in with the overall aesthetic of the car. Resonator delete and X-pipe mob. Hello everybody, it's Wilson here and welcome back to my channel. And birds. Start again. Shut up. Always that, isn't it? It's either a plane or birds. Right, here we go. Hello everybody, it's Wilson here and welcome back to my channel. In this channel, I'm going to show you, in this channel?